Today I'll talk about Mirror and its tokenomics. They are part of the Luna Terra ecosystem, one of the first apps on there together with Anchor, I guess. And yeah, they sort of contribute to creating that demand for UST that, yeah, is really essential to the whole ecosystem. If you're interested in learning about Anchor or Luna or Terra, I've got some videos on that. I'll link them below. But yeah, let's talk about Mirror. So Mirror is really all about synthetic assets. And by that, I mean specifically NASDAQ assets. So what this allows you to do is to put collateral up and then mint a certain share, I guess, right? So you could mint a Tesla share or a bunch of Tesla shares. You'd have to put up collateral based on the equivalent amount in UST, and you can put up that collateral in UST, Luna, Mirror, Anchor, and maybe by now even others. The thing is, it needs to be over collateralized, like in a lot of these things. So you need to provide more collateral to a certain rate, more like 150, 200% of that amount that you actually want to mint. So yeah, that would allow you to mint a Tesla share. And then you can take that Tesla share and sell that on the market. So yeah, there's also ways to short assets here, essentially by providing that collateral that already kind of allows for that mechanism to happen. But yeah, you post that collateral, mint the asset, the user gets the asset, and then he can sell that on TerraSwap. So if you go on TerraSwap, just log into there, you'll see that there's a bunch of M assets on there. So you can immediately directly trade things like, I think it'd be called like an M Tesla, something like that. But yeah, you could buy Tesla shares and they would follow the price of the share as it happens on the NASDAQ. And of course, yeah, that's kind of related to the trading hours. Anyway, so there's a liquidity pool here on Terra. And it's, of course, for the whole Mirror ecosystem, it's essential that there is liquidity for these token pairs. Like token pairs, I mean for Tesla shares to UST, or for Apple shares to UST, or Amazon shares to UST, things like that. There needs to be these token pairs, and TerraSwap works like any other market maker, like Uniswap. So people can provide liquidity, and then in this case, the Mirror protocol rewards them with Mirror tokens to incentivize that people actually provide liquidity for these pairs. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. You can mint these assets for collateral, and then you can sell them on the market, I guess, and trade them here. So this would allow people, I guess, without a broker account to get access to the NASDAQ. Yeah, and there's an Oracle feeder that takes care of updating the price on both TerraSwap and the Mirror protocol, and also ensures that, like these M assets, they can obviously be traded all the time, but the pricing is only available during trading hours. There's after hour trading, of course. There's some price indications, but yeah, I'm not sure how exactly that works with the NASDAQ. But how it happens here, like, they can go off price during the American night, I guess, if they trade somewhere else, and then later on it would kind of like feed back into that price. So yeah, this is yeah, what you can do with this token mechanism in this Mirror protocol. Then there is another element here as part of the ecosystem to ensure, or like that charges a certain fee on withdrawals from this. So if you want to take something out of your collateralized debt position, like maybe you're over collateralized, you may want to take something off, or you want to, yeah, and you want to do that, then I guess you can do that, but you pay a 1.5% fee to the protocol that goes into this contract collector, and that contract collector, since it collects something like UST, it will sell that on TerraSwap and buy Mirror. So that's the idea of this thing, to create demand for these Mirror tokens, buy them up, and then they have this staking mechanism where users, they can not only obviously do this whole M asset thing, but they can also use the mirror token and get rewarded for that and stake that with the protocol. And like, I guess the whole idea behind that is just this usual, we want to create some demand for this token, and we want to reward users for holding the token instead of selling it. So that's the kind of the whole thing behind it, right? So the contract collector gets a fee off this collateralized debt position, and then they would buy mirror and distribute that to the staking providers. And the other thing is liquidity providers. They can also, I mean, that's what I said earlier, right? They can provide liquidity not only for mirror UST pairs, but just for these general M asset UST pairs into these liquidity pools, right? So they get incentivized for that. So they can stake their LP or SLP tokens for shorting, and then they receive an APR paid out in mirror that they would get, right? So there's two mechanisms. You can just stake the mirror, or you can stake the liquidity tokens and get a reward for that. And yeah, I guess having tokens or owning tokens gives access to governance. Governance means they can vote on new M asset types. So that's like a community decision if new M asset types are to be approved. I don't think they have the whole NASDAQ on there. Yeah, but new tokens kind of need to be voted on and ensure that they get on. And then, yeah, the Genesis supply, of course, like in a lot of these Terra ecosystem applications, is used to incentivize the system or stimulate the system in the beginning to get it going. And there's nothing else here. So they've got 370 million mirror tokens supplied over 4 years vesting period. And yeah, they're like airdropped and rewarded to stakers. And with that, getting into the ecosystem, and in the beginning, I guess, making it more attractive to use it. And the idea is that with that initial stimulus, they would get users to onboard and use the system and really like it, and with that kind of get to a mode where the system at some point becomes, yeah, I guess like self-sustaining. So that's really it for Mirror. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.